Jason?
Yes.
So nice to be here with you.
Nice to be here with you.
I'm glad you agreed to come play ping pong.
Oh, you're going to shark me with ping pong, aren't you?
I was just going to say, you obviously don't know how bad I am at it. You're going to destroy me.
You'll be shocked at how terrible I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This could be good then.
It's going to be a lot of fishing ball.
Do you have any rules at all, or are you just...
I don't know. I just do the when I play with friends, it's just you serve cross court.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it's always your side first and the bounce.
Okay.
They serve, and then it's just, I think the edges count.
All right.
Those are the funnest ones, when it just barely touches the edge, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Let's
try this out.
All right, see if we can get a rally.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
Oh, so far so good. Oh. I spoke too soon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hand-eye coordination.
Oh.
What gave you the heat there? I gave you the heat. Here we go.
Alright, so Jason, the new Jason Bourne movie is coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
And that actually is perfect timing for me speaking with you, because I believe that series of movies is actually one of the reasons you got into film.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about it?
So, I was living in Prague, right outside the university, and nice hit. There was a friend of mine that I was staying with in Prague that had flown home to Toronto for Christmas, and I was staying at her place over the holidays. And when she came back, I was picking her up from the airport, and she said there was somebody on her flight who was kind of hitting on her, but he said he was working on a movie in Prague. And she really loved movies, and she wanted to kind of get a chance to go on the set. So she asked me to pose as her boyfriend. She didn't want to get the wrong idea, but she wanted to go to the set. And I'm like, all right, I'll go do it. And we ended up going to the set. There was this old bank in Prague that they had turned into this American embassy, and it was the Bourne Identity they were shooting there.
Crazy.
And, so we got onto the set, and I ended up meeting Doug Lyman, the director, and Matt Damon came over and hung out with us and chatted for a bit.
That's all right, man.
And it was just interesting in Prague. They don't treat celebrities the same as North America. They don't really care.
Okay.
So he's able to walk down the street and no one cared, right? So I ended up bumping into him several times when I was there. Once at the Marriott Hotel, once when I was out at a club, I ended up seeing him and hanging out with him, and just ended up chatting with him. And I remember he said to me, because I said, what you do is so amazing, I'm just so envious of you get to do this every day. He's like, well, why don't you just become an actor if that's what you want to do?
Just like that, do it.
And I'm like, well, because I don't want to be poor the rest of my life, and no one ever makes it that goes out for it. And he's like, well, think of all the roles and all the shows you've seen on TV and movies. He's like, those are all actors and they're all working. You just don't ever do it to become famous, and don't ever do it to become rich. But you can do it if you want to make a living at it. And I was like, really, Matt Damon? Okay. So that night I remember I wrote in my journal, I'm like, I want to become an actor. So when I got back to Canada, I got an agent and started it from there.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Matt Damon, that's pretty cool.
It's just like he gave me the validation I needed, or the go-ahead, the permission to go do it. Whereas everybody else in your life, they're like, well, that's a pipe dream, you'll never...
Yeah.
Actors, so many people fail at it, right? That's all you hear growing up, so I didn't think it was realistic. But yeah.
And I mean, you're pretty much acting already on set as this girl's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
So you were a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just pushed you to actually go for it. And now you've done a ton of projects.
Yeah, it's coming along.
And just this year, you have so many coming out.
Yeah, it's good right now. The American dollar is, really strong. So there's more productions coming to Vancouver, and as such, it's been a really, really good year so far. It's just every month stuff coming along.
So let's talk about the zoo.
Zoo.
Yeah. That's a crazy show, hey?
Yeah.
How did you become a part of that?
Just, I went to university for IT, and I have a commerce degree, and I minored in acting, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
But so I've got a technical background, and I do a lot of computer work and stuff like that before I became an actor. So the character on Zoo is kind of like a techie guy, but he's part of the military, so it kind of just was a good fit for me. So I came in initially as a tiny role. It's just like a 2-scene role, and then they ended up giving me another day. And then Peter Outerbridge, that plays General Davies, we kind of became friends because actually the first day he was on set, he got a new laptop. He was trying to talk to his kids with Skype, and it wasn't working for him. And I overheard him talking about it. I'm like, oh, are you using Windows 10 or is it Windows 7? Because I'm the tech guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know.
One of those, yeah.
We ended up chatting about it. He's like, would you mind after we wrap coming to the Sutton Hotel and seeing if you could fix my computer for me or get it working? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I did. I went over there and we ended up having a few beers, and I worked on his computer and had a bite to eat, and kind of become friends. It was cool. And
That's
so
awesome.
they called me back on the show the next day. It was kind of a nameless character. And he says, oh, they haven't given you a character name yet. And I'm like, no, but my wardrobe said Mansdale on it. He's like,
Nice.
I'm going to start the scene by saying, at ease, Sergeant Mansdale. And I'm like, sweet, I get a character name. So he did that for me.
That's so cool.
And then my agent got a call a couple days after, and they're like, Zoo's bringing you back as this character called Sergeant Mansdale. And I can't talk too much more about it, but it actually becomes significant in the show.
Yeah.
So just because of Peter.
And your IT skills.
And my IT skills, yeah.
Not bad. See, so school matters, even in acting.
It does. And the thing is, like, people always say, you can't give yourself a plan B, and you gotta just go after your dreams with no retreat. You know, the art of war. If you don't have the possibility of retreating, then it increases your chances of success. I don't know, I disagree with that myself. I have a really solid education with, I did the IT work. I worked for Deloitte for a while doing
I saw that.
consulting, and it was a really solid foundation, so I was always paying the bills really easily, so acting was less desperate for me. And I was able to invest myself into it more and come into the audition room without desperation. It became more enjoyable, and I found it was easier for me to go forward with it like that.
So you sort of took like a hobby approach, but you're making a living anyways.
It's never really been about money for me. Don't get me wrong, I like being able to pay for things, but I don't think I'm ever going to be a bajillionaire or anything, because I don't know, if I have money, I'd like to put it places that are, I don't like frivolous spending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to be.
Yeah. Honestly, if I had a lot of money, I would probably create film projects and try to hire actors.
Start producing.
I'd love to produce and direct. I do direct. I was actually on a music video shoot yesterday. I directed it was my 6th music video.
That's cool.
16-hour day, but
Are you allowed to talk about what music video was?
yeah, it's for a group called Santa Clara. It's the 2nd video I've done.
Nice.
And we're getting intense here. Nice. Look at that. Santa Clara, and it's a video called Be That Way.
And how do you choose what artists you direct for?
Tim, the artist, is a friend of mine.
Okay.
So it's usually helping out the friends, you know.
Which you're also doing with the Perfect Pickup.
Yes.
Are there any other projects that you're allowed to talk about at this time?
Yeah. I was on a Lifetime movie of the week called Death of a Vegas Showgirl.
Yeah.
That one was pretty brutal. It's a true story about a girl that was murdered by her boyfriend.
Ooh.
And the case is still in the courts. So that's always interesting, working on these projects where it's a real story, because you want to honor the people that you're trying to represent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm actually pretty hopeful for, I had a few episodes of Hallmark's One Calls the Heart last year. And there's a group of fans on Twitter called the Hardys.
Nice.
That they're these amazing fans. They're actually responsible for the the show getting renewed every year because
Really?
they trend on Twitter every time it airs,
No way.
and they're just diehard fans. And so yeah, then Hallmark realizes this and just kind of keeps the show going,
awesome.
and it gets a bigger fan base every year. So I had 2 episodes on this, and I was lucky enough that the fans love the characters, so they're rallying to try to get me on the next season.
Nice.
So we'll see.
That
comes
means
up next
a lot,
month.
right?
Yeah,
From the fans? It's huge.
too. Yeah, and it's a good fan base with just people with families, and there's like young people that are part of the fan base, and so my Twitter is actually pretty interesting. Half of them are Heartland, or what calls the Heart fans, and the other half are 50 Shades of Grey fans.
Yeah. Because you were the photographer in that. Graduation photographer.
Yeah. But they're kind of the sexual group, and then you've got the wholesome family group, and so my tweets have to be very diplomatic.
Yeah.
How I post things, not to upset one fan.
It's good that you're on either side, though, because I mean, that opens so many more doors, right? Rather than sticking to just
So what's the score here? 5-5?
I would say you're
5-5.
definitely winning. I have one more question
Okay.
that I try to ask each of my guests.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is.
The socks.
Yeah. Can you show me your socks?
Yeah, I gotta check. Oh, they're black dress socks. Let's see if they match. I don't know. Sometimes it's a crapshoot. Yes,
They do match. Like, exact shades, too.
I lucked out.
That's
Usually my sock drawer is just a mishmash of. I'm like, it's usually dark when I'm in my drawer. I'm like, oh.
Whatever you pull together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matches your hat, though.
Yes, and that was totally planned.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Your face says it all.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I definitely think you took that one. Good news.